Everybody, Dave Lerner. We're at South by Southwest with the co-founder and CEO of Indiegogo. Slava Rubin is here. Slava, great to have you on the show. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me, David.
So for those who don't know, what is Indiegogo?
Indiegogo is the world's funding platform where anybody can raise money for absolutely any idea. We're now distributing millions of dollars globally every month.
How does someone use Indiegogo if they have a great idea?
You go onto Indiegogo, you create your campaign, you send it out to your network, and then we help get you more money than you ever could on your own. First, by making sure the experience is as good as possible on Indiegogo, and then helping amplify it out to more people than you ever could.
We're at South by Southwest. You guys released the Indiegogo Factor today. How does it work?
We launched in January 2008, and at first things were manual, where people would ask, can I be on the homepage? And fundamentally, the reason we created Indiegogo was to democratize fundraising. So we really believe in what Google did, which is to create algorithms to determine how active something should be. And we use that to promote across all of Indiegogo.
So if I have a high GoGo factor, what does that actually mean about my campaign?
Inside of the GoGo factor is an algorithm based on lots of criteria, including the money velocity of your campaign, how many updates, how many comments, and many other things that are being reviewed. And what it means is that your campaign has a more active community, both from an internal perspective of how active you are, and also from your community, how much they're looking and funding.
Are you worried sometimes that people who don't have such a big connection, but they may have a great idea, won't get as high a GoGo factor as someone who's really connected?
Really, a small campaign that's trying to raise $1,000 and is doing a great job of raising that $1,000 can have just as high of a GoGo factor as a campaign that's trying to raise $100,000. So we factor that into the process. I mean, the way we think about the GoGo factor and Indiegogo is it's like America. Equal opportunity, but not equal results guaranteed.
Can you share with us some tips or tricks for optimizing a campaign on Indiegogo?
So there's really three things to think about. Number one is have a good pitch. Number two, be proactive. And number three, find an audience that cares. We know that video campaigns will raise 114% more money than non-video campaigns. You want to set a good target in terms of the amount of money. It just needs to be realistic. There's no really amount that you can guarantee to get or not get.
You launched your company in January 2008. You ran into the buzzsaw of the economic downturn. What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, we had this perfect plan. We were going to launch in January 2008. We were going to get some case studies in the first quarter. We were going to start marketing in the second quarter. And in the third quarter, we were going to raise some money. Sounds like a good plan. But then the fall of 2008, the crash, all the way into really the summer of 2009, it was pretty impossible to raise any capital, which we really had to look inside and ask ourselves, are we going to continue doing this?
What allowed you guys to push through?
We just had to, beyond reason and logic, say, the wind is still behind us. We believe there's something there. And every day it kept on getting better, but that's not to say it wasn't hard. We actually started with our own capital. 3 founders putting in their own money and bootstrapping. We had a perfect plan, which we were going to raise money in the fall. And by the following summer, we were well out of our capital.
So how do you guys make money?
We take a fee of all the money that comes through, so a percentage. So you decide if you want fixed funding or flexible funding. Either way, if you hit your target, we charge you 4%. If you choose fixed funding, we charge you 0% and return the money if you don't hit your target. And with flexible funding, if you don't hit your target, you get to keep all the money raised minus a 9% fee.
You guys have struck up a number of partnerships. Tell us a little about those.
A couple partnerships to highlight would be Startup America, which is the President Obama initiative to be able to stimulate entrepreneurship. That started actually right here at South by Southwest last year, so we're very excited to be part of that.
Where did you have to be as a company to be able to strike partnerships with the likes of Startup America, the White House, et cetera?
You really need to have the product solid. You need to show that you have customers and that you have traction and growth. These large partners are not investing in a one-week relationship. They want to work with you over the long term, and it was very difficult to prove that given that we're a young company. And there's not years of experience to show from.
So the cycle on getting a huge partnership like this is what?
You need to think about what sorts of partners out there in the world, no matter what the area is, can be a mutually beneficial connection. So for us, we knew that partnering with Fracture Atlas, America's largest fiscal sponsor, would be really beneficial to our community. Several of our customers had been asking for it, so we went to their senior leadership and looked to try to make it happen.
Slava, it's been great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. I think this is really valuable for all entrepreneurs, and especially those who are looking to start their own thing.